Hello, and let's take a look at this money checklist and see how these three forms of money make out in these cases. The first one will be fiat currency. The United States dollar is shown, but we can use every one for this example. The second will be the cryptocurrency Bitcoin. And the final one will be precious metals, mainly that of gold and silver. And the five categories used for an account, a unit of account and exchange would be that of portability, durability, divisibility, fungibility, and valuability. How do each of these measure with each one? Let's talk a little bit about each category. Portable, this would refer to how you are able to, when you use this for trade and you are getting rid of it, so you're using dollars, how easy is it for you to sell the dollars when you are making trade for your labor or for your whatever you're selling and receiving dollars? How easy is that to be done? And even as far as the storage of such, how is that to be taken place? The durability is mainly its life and how well it holds, how fragile it is within its durability, meaning how likely or unlikely it is to be damaged. Divisibility, that is in making change. Fungibility, this is where everyone understands what each one is. So you have a dollar, I have a dollar, they're both the same. That works out well. Whereas if you were, say, having cattle as your currency, as your money, you could have different kinds of cattle that do different things, and they're not all the same. Then you have the different ages and so many specifics that are different. And then the valuability of it. How well does it hold its value over its long-term time frame over multiple generations and so on and so forth. So that is the categories explained. So now let's talk about portability within each of these three. So first within the currency. Now as far as buying and selling, as far as getting paid, it's extremely easy. And when you're using the cash, when you're using digital numbers, very easy again. As far as storage of it, whether you store your dollars in banks, whether they are stored wherever in your home, again, easy to store. So check mark, or we'll just put this in as, we'll grade it on a scale. We'll give it an A+. We'll get the currency off to a good start, and it's going to need it. Bitcoin. How portable is it for Bitcoin? Now, I have very limited usage of it, and I'm explaining this from my point of view. And from my point of view on Bitcoin is that it is really portable. I mean, it's nothing. It's stuff on computers. However, as far as holding it, your account, I guess, does a good job of that. And for trade back and forth, I'll give it an A. Now, I can't go much different because I've only ever made one transaction on Bitcoin, and it took a long time. Now, maybe being my first one, that's why, but it took me about 20 minutes to send 10 US dollars worth of Bitcoins. Now, as far as gold and silver is concerned, I'm going to give this an A, but I'm not going to give it an A+. We're in a day and age where if we wanted to have gold and silver as money, very easy with computers and digital technology to buy 0.0794531 ounces of gold for something because, or that's how much it costs. You take it out of your account because you can digitally do that. As far as physically holding it and trading it, it's a little bit of work, but not so bad in storing it. Again, a little bit of work, but very simple nonetheless. Now, durability is its life cycle. How well can it hold up over time? For example, toilet paper, it's fragile to water. That's a big hurt for that audit section. And so many items, you just look at it, how is it fragile? So for currency, have you ever put it in a washing machine? If you have, it survives. It is very tough to destroy, so that's very good. But how durable is the banking system? So I'm going to give this an A and a C. Not air conditioning, but an A and a C. A for its physical form, but C as far as it not dying, but the actual idea form and the banking system form really gives it a downgrade in that if you're ever in a banking situation where you have a bank holiday, you're limited to your $400 a day, $500 a day, $1,000 a week, or whatever in that nature. That isn't all that durable. We've had other countries just ban notes. So you have to assume that other currencies can have something like that happen to them when banks and countries can regulate news all of a sudden. And so that is why it's a warning sign and not a great grade, to say the least. Now, as far as Bitcoin is concerned, well, durable. How durable is... I don't think it is. I'm going to give it no grade because it's got no history. And we don't know how durable this blockchain is going to work in the long-term time frame, which when we get to valuable, we're going to see how this is already going to fail. Now, as far as gold and silver is concerned, durability, let's give it an A plus with another plus and another plus and another plus. Reason why, if you ever wanted to send a message out to the universe for billions or trillions of years from now, you put it in gold, unless some major fire burns it. She is not going to leave its mark. So as far as how durable gold is, it is very safe from pretty much having no chance of being damaged. Divisibility, how to make change from such. And of course, within the dollar system, we all know how easy it is to make change, whether you're using your paper/coin notes. And then digital is just so easy. And all Bitcoin is in digital numbers within its blockchains. And gold and silver, I can't give the A plus to. Digitally, would get the A plus because that's how our computers are today. But it's still a little confusing with the fractions of golds. I still can't give you 0.71246 grams of gold very easily. Although industrially I could. And I could work with fractions a bit, but it still is hard, and with the premium cost for extra lower ones. But overall, it's not really, I think, a big deal for that to be the case as we move into the digital age. I think the divisibility is very fine. Fungibility. Everyone knows what the US dollar looks like, and the numbers are all the same. Same thing with Bitcoin. And as far as gold's concerned, you could almost say it's the same thing. You got the generic brands versus other government coined brands. But overall, an ounce of silver is an ounce of silver. An ounce of gold is an ounce of gold. Now, the value for fiat currency, I have to give it an F on two measures. Measure number one is inflation. And my challenge to you is during the hydro generation or the electricity generation, when is the last time there has been 30 years with very little to no inflation? Or has there ever been? No, there hasn't been. It's been constant inflation, generation over generation, holding these currency, whether it be through digital form or through the level of paper coins or paper dollars wherever, not good. But also, it's an economic monetary model that is designed to enslave the working class, the population, the civilians, the people, which I think is not cool, because when you have a debt-based system where only central banks can create currency, that means when interest is charged, it has to be paid back, but it's not created. Thus, debt can only be guaranteed. So we're approaching a US 20 trillion national debt. Well, that's guaranteed via the math. Now, as far as Bitcoin is concerned, it isn't, it's an idea, literally nothing more than an idea, as of course is the fiat currency as well. Some might come and say, well, no, wait a second, it is limited in numbers, they can only have so many, and in theory, in mindset, that is all good and fine, but there is still no tangible item amongst it. And as far as the physical gold and silver is concerned, silver has uses, gold has uses as well, also very rare metals as well. What you'll be hard pressed to do is find any item on this planet that could make every one of these five be check marks, or at least an a B plus grade. I only use the A and F, and I put a C grade in here. So technically, I guess you could say those are the check marks and non-check marks. But this is the list of currencies that are most common today. It seems that a lot of people into Bitcoin are in this because they are sick of the high amounts of currency out there, and maybe it's because of the lower numbers, that's why they do like Bitcoin. But from way I look at things right now, gold and silver historically, with all fiat idea monetary models that have collapsed, and all of them have, gold and silver have reigned supreme each time. Thank you for tuning in.